Hey, it's me again, Ken, from Ken's Small Church Tech, and I want to talk to you today about controlling your PTZ cameras without having a controller. Yes, it can be done. There's a couple different ways. You can use either the web address for the camera, or you can use this. Now, what you're going to need to use this is either OBS, with one of their plugins, but I'm going to use NDI directly through my laptop. So this is just a Xbox controller or a PC controller. It has a USB plug-in, and it's plugged into my laptop that I have right in front of me here, and I'm going to be controlling this camera and a second camera using that controller and also the web address. So if you got an NDI camera, you can do this. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to and search for NDI tools. When you do that, it brings you over to NDI. We're going to have NDI tools right here. We're going to install NDI tools here. It'll take you to this page where you can get the installation downloads. I've already got it installed on this particular laptop. So I'm going to come out of here, click on my NDI tools shortcut here, and this is what you're going to be downloading. So here's the page that you want to see. So here it is. We're going to use Studio Monitor right here. There's a lot of other good things here that you can do with NDI tools. They're really pretty cool. They're pretty easy to use most of the time, and there's a great documents and guides right there. So if you've never used this, I suggest you go there and take a look at that. But we're going to go to Studio Monitor, and it's going to bring up this here. Now what this QR code does, let me switch channels. What this QR code does, there it is this brings you to a way of controlling the same thing we're going to do on there. So there it is. That's the NDI Studio Monitor. You can't see it on here right at the moment, but you can control it there. And I'm going to put that away here and bring back this here. We're going to go up to the little menu items here, and we're going to choose one of the cameras. I'm going to choose this one first, and it's going to bring us into the camera. So here's the camera, and we can actually control this using our mouse right there, and we can move the camera around all we want. Bring it back a little more. There we go. There we go. Now I also got a couple of presets in the camera, and the presets are controlled in the camera, and we can actually do those presets from here too. Okay. So we got a couple of presets in there. You can control that, and this is all done through the Studio Monitor using NDI capabilities. If you have an extra monitor, this works great. Now you can also zoom in and zoom out, and this is where you can do a autofocus. It's kind of rough, oh no, but I'm going to hit back to the focus, manual focus. I'm going to hit the autofocus and bring it back. That didn't work so well, but what we can also use is the joystick. So let's get to the PTZ settings. There we go. Controller USB gamepad. Now I can control the pan and tilt. Whoa, a little bit too much. There we go. And I can tilt up and tilt down. All with the controller. Obviously, if you have presets, that's always a better way to do this. But if you don't have presets, this makes a nice, easy way to get you to where you are, and then you can set up the preset. So once you get it controlled where you're at, you can store a new preset in here simply by hitting Store and 3, and we have another preset set up right here. But again, you can control it with game controller. Now, why would you do this? One of the reasons I would do this would be I can afford some of the gear, but not all of it. So now I can kind of put aside the PTZ controller for now because I can do this on my screen, and I can do this with something that I have sitting around the house, or it's an $18 purchase on, there goes the autofocus. If it does go out autofocus, you can hit one of the buttons on the control pad. So one of those colored buttons right there, any one of them will turn the autofocus back on. The problem is all the other buttons tend to turn the autofocus back off, like these here. So you got to be kind of careful with this, but you can have some fun with this off to the side. One person can control this while the other person might be doing other things with their live stream. So there it is. You can control your PTZ cameras with a game controller, and actually you can change cameras while you're doing that also. So we can go to this camera. So whichever camera you now have up, you can bring that around and you can control that with your game controller. And it's just right here. So there it is. I hope that helps you, and I hope you have a good day, and God bless.